This is my rehearsal for the informative speech. The title is Criminal Justice. Most of us have or will get a ticket for whatever reason. It might be for speeding, for getting our license at home, etc. And it is important for us to know how to handle the situation properly. A criminal charge can stay on your record forever and have consequences on your future. Learning how to handle a case properly can benefit not only you but the people around you. I have worked for a criminal law firm for 2 years as a legal assistant, managing files and evidence, the intake process, advising clients on the most efficient ways of handling their cases, and preparing cases for court proceedings. I'll go ahead and explain 3 main points that are vital when getting a ticket or citation in court. The first one is learning what a criminal offense is. The second point is the classification and consequences. And the third point is learning how to properly handle a criminal case. A criminal offense, in few words, is a behavior that is prohibited by the law. The most common offenses are speeding, driving without a license, driving while impaired, and other traffic offenses such as failing to reduce speed, which are mainly accidents, passing a red light or a stop sign. And the law varies according to each state, and it also changes as time goes by. For example, DUIs used to result in up to 2 years of prison, and now it can be up to 3. Also, the law for expulsion has changed, having more requirements. And now that I have explained what a criminal offense is, I can go ahead and tell you about how we classify criminal charges and some of the consequences. I always divide cases in 4 main groups: traffic, misdemeanors, DUIs, and DWLRs. These are not the only type of criminal offenses, but they are the most common ones. Traffic tickets often do not involve jail time, but you will get license and insurance points if found guilty. Misdemeanors are divided into class 1, 2, and 3, which can result in up to 120 days in jail and a significant fine. DUIs, or driving while impaired, could be classified under traffic, but due to the severity of the charge, we classify them on their own, as well as DWLRs, which means driving while license revoked. That happens when you fail to pay a fine or drive while on probation, or you have a pending case. Criminal charges stay on record forever, as I mentioned before, but there are some exceptions. Traffic tickets also stay on your record forever, but the license and insurance points go away every 3 years. Some non-violent felonies and misdemeanors can be expunged or erased after 5 years, but the state has specific requirements. DUIs are one of the cases that are most difficult to fight, especially if you're charged more than once in a period of 7 years. 1 DUI comes with a year of license suspension. 2 DUIs in 7 years means 4 years of suspension, and 3 DUIs means your license is suspended for life. A DUI is a very serious charge, and when involving death, it becomes harder to fight than a murder. And now that you know some of the consequences, you may ask yourself how to avoid them, which brings me to my third point. A lot of people don't know how to properly handle a ticket or citation. Most people believe tickets should be paid. Sometimes that's what the police officer tells them because it benefits the state. Tickets should not be paid unless the charge doesn't carry any license or insurance points. Paying a ticket online or in person means pleading guilty, and the points will stay on record for 3 years, which means you will pay more for your insurance. And when getting a ticket or citation in court, there are 3 options. You can hire your own lawyer, request a public defender, or represent yourself. Whatever your case is, I strongly recommend not to choose option 3. If you don't have any money to hire a private lawyer, you may go to court and request an extension or a public defender. After After this, you may ask yourself if the justice system is fair and what is the process for handling this type of crimes. The most common way of handling traffic tickets is to negotiate the dismissal of a charge in exchange for pleading guilty for another charge. After pleading guilty to one charge, attorneys use what we call PJC, or prayer for judgment continued. And that way, the defendant doesn't get any points or negative consequences on the record. For DUIs, there are certain requirements before entering any negotiation, such as community service, counseling or treatment for substance abuse, and paying a civil revocation fine of $100 if you have an alcohol concentration of 0.08 or higher. In my experience, I can't really tell if the system is fair. I can say it isn't perfect, but none of our systems are. The justice system, as we all know, is mainly based on what people believe is right or wrong, interpretation of evidence, witnesses who may exaggerate or change their stories, etc. To sum it all up, criminal offenses have more consequences than what we think, especially offenses that put your life and the lives of others at risk. And it can have negative effects on our future. For example, when applying for a job. I have shared with you all the concept of criminal offense, its consequences, and how to handle it properly. I invite you to share this information with other people, mainly because I've noticed in the past 2 years as a legal assistant that most people don't know how the system works and how to handle these cases. Sometimes they even fail to appear to court because they are afraid or they don't know what the process is, which results in severe consequences. Most of the time, we ignore how a small decision or behavior can completely impact our life and the lives of others. Before even considering driving after drinking or driving recklessly, think about the severity of your actions and how you can ruin not only your life, but someone else's life.